1, 2, 3. Set up, man. You already know.
All right, man. Have some fun.
Jets on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
From the pregame central presented by Uber Eats, it's Jets Nation, and it's the home opener. Doesn't get any better than this. The gang is all here. We're on the island, presented by Kentucky Jersey State Lottery. Of course, I'm Eric Allen, joined alongside Eric Coleman and Anthony Beck. Momentarily, we'll be hearing from Ethan Greenberg, and Hall of Famer Joe Namath will be here as well. Eric, let's get out of the tunnel right now. For the first time in close to 21 months, the New York Jets are playing a regular season game in front of their fans.
This is going to be exciting. Everybody's here. Everybody's hyped for the game. It's going to be the home field advantage. It's been 21 months, as you mentioned. It's in a great start. New head coach, new quarterback, new era for the Jets. It's going to be exciting times.
Anthony, what a scene here at MetLife.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I got to hear one thing. Being a former player, I got to get the hairs of my arms up. Give me some noise, Jets fans. Let's go. Let's go. This is great. It's great to be back at MetLife. It's great to see the fans. I can't wait to see a packed house at the game today, and this is an exciting matchup. Two big-time teams, in my opinion, a division rival. This is going to be fun to watch.
It is an exciting matchup, and we're bringing out Joe Namath for today's pregame central. Eric, last week against the Panthers, the Jets fell behind the 8 ball early. They started slow, but they got going late. How do they change that today in front of this energetic fan base?
Well, you know, last week, listen, the Jets have the youngest team in the NFL. The coach, I thought it was a little conservative coming out. Once that second half started, they took off all the restrictions. They started blitzing more. They started getting more aggressive. I think if you start off with that game plan, establish that run game, fire off on all cylinders on defense, everything's going to be great for the Jets today.
Anthony, bottom line, the Jets have to start faster.
They do. I think operationally, from an offensive standpoint, you talked about, Eric, you got to establish the run. This team is going to be built off helping your quarterback have a run game so that you can get into play action, so you can move the quarterback so he can have open receivers with safeties coming down in the box and worrying about some of those runs that they can bring. And listen, I expect it to be better. I think this offensive line, after one game, they're going to get putting themselves in a better situation. And I think for me, going in here, if they establish the run, they can have a successful game.
Another week, another quarterback matchup that takes the headline here.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson, number 2 overall selection for the New York Jets. The number 15 overall selection for the New England Patriots. They have a rookie quarterback in, of course,
Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones. It's the Zach and Mac attack out here.
Yeah, and they're two really good rookies. I mean, listen, we hope these guys are playing for the next 12 years for both teams because it's only going to build this rivalry up. I'll say this about Mac Jones. The one thing you're not going to see from him is mistakes, at least unnecessary throws. He gets the ball, checks it down. He only takes the chance when it's absolutely there, and I think that's what they're preaching. And when you have a young quarterback for really both sides, that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you establish that run game we talked about and be patient and hit the guy that's open. Take the yards that they have.
Different quarterbacks, different styles. We saw Wilson last week, guys. He got in his comfort zone in the second half. He's more of an athlete. He can make plays off script. Where Mac Jones, he's a traditional pocket passer. And last week, the Patriots converted 69% of the time on third down. He completed 74% of his passes in a loss to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, they were very efficient last week. Pretty conservative as well, but Mac Jones is a pocket passer. You know, I like when you talk about Zach Wilson, all the things that he can do, because he can sit in that pocket, he can deliver throws all around the field. But he's also athletic enough, savvy enough, when the play breaks down, he can get outside the pocket, he can extend plays, drive the ball down the field, and just really gives them an advantage offensively. I know as a defensive player, it's tough. when you go through your coverage, you're downfield covering, the play breaks down, and now you got a quarterback who can deliver when the play breaks down. It's a big advantage for the Jets.
And it's nice you talk about Mac Jones. He's a quarterback in the pocket. As a defensive lineman, you love that because the trend in the NFL right now is movable guys that can get out, be dangerous with their legs. Mac's not trying to do that, right?
No.
So there's a little bit of hey, I'm a defensive lineman today. I got a chance to get in there and make some money.
Yeah, you talk about that iron deer, that guy who's going to be in that pocket. Tom Brady did it for many years. A lot of quarterbacks are sit there in that pocket. Having that blitz, having that all gas, no brakes mentality, the Jets are going to be able to get after him.
There's Mac Jones right now warming up at MetLife Stadium. He will be making his first road start in the National Football League. Zach Wilson will be making his first home start here at MetLife Stadium. Okay, what's the game plan for the Jets against this Patriots offense? Because we've seen them transition the last 3 years. Tom Brady, Cam Newton, now Mac Jones. They're going to run a lot of two tight end sets today, don't you think?
Yeah, a ton of two tight end sets. They have two good ones, Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. These two guys really do balance the defense out. Eric will let you, as a safety, you really can't do too much from a disguise standpoint. You really can't do too much as a blitz standpoint, and especially if they run the ball. It's going to be heavy play action. They're going to force the ball. If it's 2nd and 8, they're going to run. If it's 3rd and 6, they may run the ball as well. They're going to make sure they get the most out of their running game, and I watched them last week. I did see a little bit of that run game get out early, and that did help the success of their quarterback. So I think a loaded box, you may see some more man coverage, make these guys beat you up front, and then try to take advantage of it. And don't let the big plays happen over the top.
Great scene at MetLife Stadium today. Jets, Patriots, it's the home opener. We got the flight crew here. You're seeing shots on the field. The Jets warming up for the first time here in 2021. Both these teams 0-1, the Jets and the Patriots. You got a chance to put the Patriots in a big hole, fellas. Listen, they lost the division game at home last week. If you beat them here, that would be 0-2, and 0-2 in the AFC East.
Absolutely. And you talk about these division games, these ones count. And whenever you can win those home games, put your opposition at a 0-2 in the division, that's a big jump for you. And for the Jets to get off to a good start today, to play efficient football, to be physical, play fast, all gas, no brakes, all day, I think that's the key to their victory today.
So we're looking at Quinnen Williams right now on the field. There is
Braxton
Berrios. Braxton Berrios, of course, 5 receptions last week. Let's talk about how is Bill Belichick going to attack the rookie quarterback in Zach Wilson as far as their protections are concerned.
Yeah, I mean, it first starts with contain, right? Your outside edge defenders have to make sure that he stays in the pocket. I think everybody knows if you watch his career as a quarterback, he's very good on the move, very good on the run, and he showed a little bit of that last week in the second half. So for them, they want to keep him in the pocket, make sure that everything happens there, and then they want to stop the run. They're going to put pressure on the offensive line. They're going to get big, strong edges. They're going to pack it down, and they're going to try to stop the run game so they can try to make the Jets one-sided.
Another thing that they're going to do to attack Zach Wilson, a young quarterback rookie, they're going to be doing a lot of disguising on the back end, making the coverage look like it's something else. Yeah. And Bill Belichick is one of the masters at disguise, especially playing against a young quarterback who hasn't seen much in the NFL.
And J.C. Jackson, they got some really experienced secondary players. He's got to really trust his eyes and make sure he's on time with his passes.
Absolutely.
Good news for the Jets here on the injury front. We haven't had an opportunity to say that so much this year, but it appears likely that both Jamison Crowder and Keelan Cole will be available. We saw Corey Davis get off last week, 5 receptions, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. He is Zach Wilson's favorite target. What would it mean getting Crowder back?
It's a huge advantage having Crowder back in the fold. Listen, Bill Belichick is known for taking away your strength. And right now, the strength of the Jets is Corey Davis. So please believe they're going to be double-teaming him. The coverage is going to shift to Corey Davis. So that leaves Jamison Crowder in the slot, one-on-one coverage. Keelan Cole on the perimeter, one-on-one in coverage. These guys are going to have big opportunities to make plays, and I think that they're going to step up.
I thought Mike LaFleur was accurate, spot on, when he said people were asking him about the way he used personnel. It's tough to employ a lot of packages if you don't have plays. You got to convert on 3rd down. The Jets weren't able to stay on the field in Carolina there early in the game.
Yeah, you want more snaps. The more snaps you have, the better you can obviously operate your offense. And that is going to be something for a coordinator. You talk about Mike LaFleur. He's got a lot of weapons now. We're not used to seeing these many different targets. Tight ends, Tyler Croft is another good weapon for the quarterback as well. Getting these guys the ball, you talked about guys in the slot, quick ones to Crowder, get the quarterback in a flow, and allow Zach Wilson to see the field so they can find all his weapons.
You are watching Pregame Central presented by Uber Eats. Eric Allen alongside Eric Coleman and Anthony Beck. Soon we're going to hear from Ethan Greenberg, who is inside MetLife Stadium right now. We are on the island. Great crowd today for the Jets home opener. There is the scene, people rolling inside the gates. It is a beautiful day for football. Crowd's getting charged up out here as well. Eric, what does this rivalry mean to you as a player? Jets, Patriots.
Well, it was a meaningful one. It was one that, as you continue to play in it, you start to build up some hate towards the other side. You really don't like each other. Your division opponents, you're fighting for the playoff positions. So it gets kind of feisty. It gets testy. You know each other so well. Playing in the division, you're seeing each other often. You know the personnel. You know how they're going to attack one another. And now it just comes down to execution, making tackles, making plays when they come your way.
Do you have a favorite moment in the rivalry for yourself, Anthony?
I mean, every time we played was a battle. I mean, going against some great, iconic defensive players for the Patriots, there's a hatred. You're right. There's a hate. I hate the Patriots. That's just how it is. I mean, that's what it's got to be. And for these young players on this team, they're going to have to continue to grow and understand what this means and the impact of this game within the division. So they'll learn today. It'll come up quick. But really, two teams, a lot of new faces, a lot of new young players. Should be a good experience.
I see food coming close to the set right now, and Jets fans know how to tailgate better than anybody. So I think we're going to dive into that soon. A lot of people out there having a great time on the island. Other people, obviously, making their way through the gates here today. MetLife Stadium, Jets, Patriots, Jets home opener for the first time in close to 21 months.
Great.
The Jets will play a regular season home game in front of the green and white faithful. Players getting warmed up on the field right now. Eric, I talked to Coach Saleh about this earlier this week. If you're the Jets, you give up 19 points like you did in Carolina defensively, I think that puts you in position to win each and every game.
Absolutely. Every time, playing, we always wanted to keep that team under 21 points. Because if you could hold them under 21 points, you give your offense the opportunity, you have good field position, you should be winning a lot of football games with holding them under 21 points. So, I think Zach Wilson, Mike LaFleur, and this offense are going to take it to the next level. They're going to keep growing as they trust Zach Wilson, as he gains their trust. And he has the playmakers to do it. I mean, you talk about Jamison Crowder coming back in the fold, and we haven't even talked about Elijah Moore, the dynamic receiver, the rookie receiver who's going to be making plays all over the field today. So a lot of weapons for the Jets. It's going to be exciting offensively.
On Saturday, in recognition of this highly anticipated return of fans to MetLife Stadium today, the New York Jets and the Empire State Building partnered to celebrate the Jets home opener with the tower lighting to the color green. Yeah. There it is, folks. The Empire State Building, all green for the home opener today. You are watching Pregame Central presented by Uber Eats. Now let's head to the WinBet Green Room with Ethan Greenberg. Greens, the lineup shuffling will continue today for the Jets.
Tearing his tricep tendon against the Carolina Panthers. So next to Marcus May, you got to keep an eye on three guys: Sheldrick Redwine, Jared Wilson, and Adrian Colbert. And I'm going to focus on Colbert because the last team that he was with before the green and white, actually the Jets' opponent today, the New England Patriots, and Colbert was elevated off the practice squad last week and again this week. He stepped up immediately for the Jets in Carolina. He took 34 defensive snaps, an additional 20 on special teams. And then similarly at the linebacker position, Delshon Phillips elevated last week, elevated again this week. He actually led the Jets with 9 tackles on defense at Carolina. And that linebacker spot without Jamie and Sherwood, it's going to be interesting. You got to keep an eye on that position as well. Who's going to start next to C.J. Mosley and Hamza Nasruddin? It could be Phillips, who led the Jets defense with 9 tackles last week. It could be Quincy Williams, another guy to keep an eye on, who was inactive this week. And remember, the Jets signed a veteran productive presence in B.J. Goodson earlier this week as well. So I have my eyes focused on the defense in terms of the injury front against the Patriots offense that, of course, has Mac Jones under center. And we'll see how they do here in a couple hours. Remember, the inactives come out shortly. That's all we have here from the WinBet Green Room. EA, back to you.
Hey, Jets fans, as you stock up for game day this season, keep an eye out for your specially marked Pepsi products for your chance to win exciting Jets prizes from Pepsi, the official soft drink of the New York Jets. Eric Allen, Eric Coleman, Anthony Beck, live out here on the island. You're watching Pregame Central. There's the shot inside the stadium. Jets and Patriots getting ready for the home opener out here. It is time for our matchups to watch. E, since you're sitting to my right, you go first.
All right, my matchup today are the linebackers for the New York Jets against the running backs of the New England Patriots. The Patriots are expected to rely heavily on the run today with a young quarterback. It's going to be up to the Jets defense to slow that down. And now we're talking about C.J. Mosley, the guy who came in here, played a great half of football 2019, and one of the leaders, the centers of this defense. And then you have some newcomers. B.J. Goodson, a tackling machine coming over from the Cleveland Browns, is going to be a great addition to this linebacking core. So I'm looking forward to them stopping all these running backs. You talk about Damian Harris for the New England Patriots, who rushed for 100 yards last week. He's going to get a lot of touches today, and if the Jets can stop that run, they're going to be able to get after Mac Jones and set the tone for this defense.
Okay, before we get to Anthony, you hit the nail on the head there. Last week, Damian Harris, 23 carries, 100 yards, averaging 4.3 yards a pop. James White, you got to watch out for him out of the backfield. 6 receptions last week for 49 yards, including a long 26. C.J. Mosley's the veteran leader there in the middle. We saw Del'Shawn Phillips, who was a practice squad call-up, fellas, on Saturday. He actually led the team with 9 defensive stops. Hamza Nasruddin, a rookie out of Florida State. He got 2 tackles in his first NFL action. Who's going to be the third starter there? That remains to be seen. I'm especially looking forward to inactives today. Let's continue with our matchups to watch. Anthony Beck.
Yeah, I look at the tackles for the Jets. I think it's a tall order today as they go against Matt Judon. Here's a guy that comes over from the Ravens, one of the best pass rushers in the league, in the top 10. And he's going to have, pretty much his choice of each side. He's going to roll both sides. We're going to move George Fant to the left tackle. George Fant's been a guy that already said, listen, going from right to left is not easy. It's like writing with your left hand all of a sudden when you're a right hand. It's not just a stick there and go. And on the other side, Morgan Moses. He's a guy that's played a lot of snaps in his NFL career. He's got a ton of starts. Listen, if we can contain this kid on the outside, Zach Wilson's going to have some opportunities to throw the football and get the ball out of his hands and maybe make some of those big plays down the field.
George Fant was open about it. He said it's very tough in season to make that transition from right tackle to left tackle. That's what he'll be doing for the New York Jets. Of course, Morgan Moses, durable, extremely durable guy with the Washington football team. You mentioned Judon before. How big of a break is it? No Kyle Van Noy today for the Patriots.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, listen, instead of having 2 headaches, you only have 1. Now, they have some other guys, Winovich and other guys that can come off the edge. But, again, he's the guy you have to neutralize. And he's going to bounce around. He's going to play both sides. And he's going to test the waters. If I'm them, I'm going on George Fant's side because, again, just hearing those things about him, getting onto that side, getting used to that, that's going to be something that's going to take a couple series for him to get comfortable. So, again, look for that matchup early, Fant versus Judon.
Listen, fellas, I'm going to go to the hot hand for the New York Jets, and that's Zach Wilson's #1 target. Corey Davis, 5 receptions last week, 97 yards to 2 touchdowns, averaging 19.4 yards a pop. very nearly had 1,000 yards receiving last year in Tennessee. I think he's going to be seeing a lot of J.C. Jackson today. No Stephon Gilmore in that Patriots secondary. Actually, I think for the Jets, they might be able to exploit the Patriots secondary at that cornerback position, getting Jamison Crowder back in the lineup. But Corey Davis is going to see a lot of J.C. Jackson today. 14 interceptions, between 19 and 20. 2019 and 2020 season. So this is the guy who's going to try to bait Zach Wilson at times.
Absolutely. And when you talk about that many interceptions, that's the guy who's out there taking chances. So, be looking for Zach Wilson to set him up on some double moves, try to isolate him, and go at him. That's the best way to do it. Go out their best receiver, or go out their best cornerback with your best receiver. This is why they make the big bucks. Go out there and make some plays. I'm very confident in Corey Davis, and so is Zach Wilson.
We just saw Zach Wilson on the screen there. How can they get him in we talk about overall this team starting faster, but as far as just getting them some easy plays, as far as maybe a couple of those easy completions just to get them a rhythm.
Yeah, it's all about getting your playmakers in space. Talked about Crowder already. Elijah Moore, who really didn't get a lot of touches in the game. I think as a rookie, when you get a guy like a receiver or a tight end early in the draft, and you got them as a rookie on the field, you got to make them feel comfortable. Yep. You got to get them the ball. You got to make them feel it. You got to make them hear the chants. You got to hear the noise, the speed of the game. Everything starts to slow down, and the adrenaline comes down a little bit. Every time I was out there as a young player, I wanted to get the ball early. A little Y stick, 5-yard out route, catch the ball, and I was good. I was good for the game. So those are the things to me. If you want to get a quarterback who's a rookie, you want to get a rookie receiver comfortable, get them in the flow quickly and fast, and that kind of neutralizes all the stresses of when's it going to come my way.
What about Elijah Moore? Rookie just getting his feet wet in the National Football League, targeted 4 times last week against the Panthers. Didn't see the action in the preseason. What do you anticipate from him today? Because he's got game-breaking ability. I don't want to put too much on his plate early, but he's got tremendous versatility, can line up outside the numbers, obviously in the slot at times. You can get him going with jet sweeps. He's just a guy who I think can make this offense look different.
He absolutely can, and he's strong. He's physical when he has the ball in his hand. You have to get creative in finding ways to get him opportunities. Listen, Corey Davis is going to get a lot of the attention. Elijah Moore, the rookie who's unproven in this league so far, he's going to get some opportunities against their 3rd and 4th best cornerback. So it's going to be a big shot for him to get some chances, get the ball in some space, make some plays for this Jets team. I think you'll see him moving the chains, converting some 3rd downs, making a lot out of a little.
Hey, Eric, you mentioned one thing when you talked about you don't want to put too much on his plate. Listen, man, we didn't coddle rookies when I played.
No.
The playbook's open, and you got to do it. So put it on these guys. Let them go out there and play. Let's not hold back, and let's see what they do. They're drafted high for a reason. Let's put them in situations to make plays, and let's throw it all out there because we're trying to win now, right? We're trying to win games now, get the confidence going, and I'm sure these fans want to see a W as well.
All right. Today, watch it today. Zach Wilson to Elijah Moore. After we get finished here, if you're watching at home or maybe in the car and you're not driving, you can head over to CBS 2 for Jets Game Day with Robert Saleh. And then after the game, make sure you tune in to Jets Overtime presented by Nissan SNY. We'll also have you covered both pregame and postgame. Speaking of Jets Game Day with Robert Saleh, let's hear from the Jets head coach right now.
Faithful for the first time. Jets fans, they're looking at the Patriots and saying, we got to get this one.
Yeah. It's going to be the same message I say all week. Every game is a championship opportunity. Every moment is a championship moment. And if you make one moment bigger than the next, you're going to fail in those really, really opportune times when it's clutch time and you got to make a play. So, it's going to be the same message. It's no different. The crowd's just cheering for us this time, and use it as fuel, use it however you need to, but understand it's still about being internally driven to make every play that you need to be the best you can be. And I'm excited to see these guys operate. It's going to be another fun experience for them.
Eats. I'm Eric Allen alongside Eric Coleman and Anthony Beck, of course. You're taking a live look at the fans out here on the island. It's a very special game day for so many different reasons. Jets, Patriots, MetLife Stadium. This place is getting amped up.
Joe, how are you?
Without further ado,
Good, Joe. Good to see you.
a special man is joining the set right now.
Yes.
Let's hear it for Hall of Fame quarterback, Joe Namath.
Oh. Yes. All right, thank you. Thank you, guys. Yes. Thank you all.
Joe, how are you doing, my friend? You had a lot of success against the Patriots. The record books say Joe had more victories over the Patriots than any other team. 15-4-1 overall.
Yeah, and that's when we played Boston in Fenway Park, too.
Do you have a favorite memory as far as either a season opener at home in front of fans or a game against the Patriots, perhaps?
Yeah, actually, we had a rookie game. And that was a thrill to me because the Patriots, we played it in Lowell, Massachusetts. And that's when the Patriots had a halfback that just came out of the Navy named Joe Bellino. And I was a fan of Joe Bellino's, man, when I was in high school and all, you know. And that was a huge memory for me, being able to shake Joe's hand out there before the game.
That's awesome. So let's talk about the Jets quarterback situation. Zach Wilson, the number 2 pick overall. I know you got to sit down with him on Saturday. What are your overall impressions of Zach, and what did you guys talk about?
Well, man, like most of us, whenever we see him on the field, whether it's videos of college or practice here and being able to watch him in the game, I'm really impressed with the way he keeps his poise and goes from side to side to side and has the ability physically to buy time to move around and be able to throw from any position, too. I don't know, Anthony, Eric, you know, when a rookie has been elected captain by his teammates, I think that says a whole lot for the way that Zach's been carrying himself, you know, practicing and the leadership qualities, man. That's quite a tribute.
Joe, me and Eric are the most famous Jets out here to arrive, but it's great to have you here. I got to ask you, you look at we've seen a lot of teams try to be creative. Since you've been here, since I've been here, Joe Douglas, the GM, the new head coach, brand new energy. You're over at the facility talking to these guys. What do you think is going to be the staple? There's weapons around the quarterback now. He's got some pieces. What's going to be the staples to kind of get this young team to the next step and be a competitor back in this division?
Well, as you fans know, we've got a young team for the most part here. And the old story, Eric understands, and Anthony, we all do. It starts up front to me. I mean, I know the cat that handles the ball every play offensively and has to make decisions. Even call them pass protection these days. It's up to the QB. And you got to get the experience, the physical experience of being out there, the mental experience of being out there and seeing the animals on the other side going full speed. You know, we go through practice, we watch videos, and man, and not until you really get in the game against cats you don't know all the time and have to digest what they're doing to put your team in the right position for the play on that given down. Even pass protection, you know, they call.
Right.
The quarterback has to recognize things because he sees things standing up there better than the guys in an almost three-point position. It's a learning process. I'm excited about our coaching staff and the team that we have. I know Joe Douglas, you guys, he was a player. He was a winner. He'd been to the championship with Philadelphia in another capacity. We've got some terrific opportunities. All we can do is hope for the best, you know.
Hey,
if these guys play up to their ability, they can win. That's going to happen. We're going to win some games.
Joe's watching the big guys. Two Alabama starting quarterbacks now in the AFC East. Special fraternity, Joe. What's the scouting report on Mac Jones?
Well, I tell you, all these folks out here are football fans, and they may have witnessed some of Mac's playing last season as a college guy. You don't get that starting job at that position down there with the Crimson Tide unless that Coach Saban is pleased with you. And they've been in big games, too. So I know Mac is going to be cool. He's going to be ready. And I've pulled for Mac, but I'm pulling for the it's almost want to be automatic to say the Tide, the Crimson Tide, but I'm a Jets man all the way here. So I'm pulling for Zach and our Jets, you know.
So Joe, you talk about the Jets and talk about Zach Wilson, Tua, all the young quarterbacks in this division. No Tom Brady anymore. He's down in Tampa. What are your thoughts on this division right now, the AFC East?
It's a long season to start with. I mean, we got 17 games this year, and everybody, or a lot of us, was glad to see Buffalo lose last week. But Buffalo's strong. We've got a tough division.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Lady Luck plays a role with injuries, as you guys know, man. You folks know injuries can weaken a team. So I believe in any given day, and I know in any given day, we can win. You got to believe you're going to win, and you got a chance out there. All these cats can play, man. They're good. So it's a tough division, and we still have a chance, man.
So you had an opportunity to spend some time with Coach Robert Saleh yesterday at One Jets Drive. What were those interactions like, and how has he impressed you as a leader?
Well, I've watched him at San Francisco, certainly. He was more visible out there for we fans than I'd seen before, and I looked at his history, and they live it. It's his life, man. And the team is enthused. We talked about the team being young and fresh, and we're going to get more players too, but they're all very enthusiastic. They're all fired up, and you'd expect most of the teams to be that way. I just like the way he carries himself. It feels when you communicate with him, and we're starting over again, so let's get it going, and I like our chances.
Can you talk about the fan base? Listen, due to the pandemic last year, no fans in the building. You had all these regular season games in front of empty seats. This place is going to be rocking today. And I think I think perhaps nobody knows how special that connection is between a Jet and the fans and you.
Hey, Anthony knows, Eric knows, you know, we're out on the field, folks. We need to hear you.
Oh, yeah.
We want to hear you, and we want to hear you disrupt the other side, too. Because communication's important out there. So you're a part of the team. Don't forget that. This is a huge team, the Jet Nation, man. So get it loud out there.
Zach Wilson, we talked a little bit about him before. We're going to be talking a lot about him in the days, weeks, and years to come. How much do you like that ability of his to make plays off script? I know you got to live in the pocket, but sometimes things are just not going to go according to script. And he's a tremendous athlete, and you had a lot of that in your game coming out of Alabama yourself.
Well, maybe at Alabama, not coming out, but, things could happen. But we've seen wins both ways. Yeah, you'd like to have a guy that can move around. Going way back, Francis Tarkington was a cat that wore those ugly colors, the blue and the stuff for the Giants and some other team. But you'd like to have a guy that can move around, too. But then again, you've got an animal named Tom Brady, who is a pocket man. New England has Jones, who is a pocket man. The game can be won both ways, obviously, But, folks, I promise you again, it starts up front with that offensive line, that defensive line, and line of scrimmage. The other guys that are running around catching the ball, yeah, that's critical. But if you don't have a standoff at least up front, it could be a long day.
Any guarantees today, Joe?
Yeah, I guarantee you we're going to be pulling as hard as we can as we ever did for a win today. I guarantee you that.
Love it.
Hey, let's hear it for Joe Namath. Also, on your way out, I want you to take a look at that sign over here. I can't wait until tomorrow because you get better looking every day, Joe. A book that I believe Dick Schaap co-authored with you in 1969, correct?
Yes, yeah. I said that to a guy. Oh, well, man, back in college, I was a freshman, and I was from Pennsylvania, and these guys from Alabama, I couldn't understand what they were talking about. And they couldn't understand me with the Yankee stuff and all. And I was in the John washing up, to join John one day, and I said, just, like in front of the mirror, and the guy said, "What's wrong? What are you doing, Joe?" And I said, "Oh, I can't wait until tomorrow." He said, "Why's that, Joe?" I said, "'Cause I get better looking every day." I mean, it's a joke, it's fun, but it's thick.
Well, I can't wait until today. It's been a special few moments for you to join us up here on stage. And I know you have plenty of things to do today, so enjoy the game day. And once again, that's Joe Namath, everybody.
Well, thanks for having me.
Let's get to Chuck Lott.
Thanks
Everybody enjoy the day today, all right? Anthony, take care, man. Eric, all right.
Thanks a lot, guys. It's Chuck Lott out here in Jets Pregame Central presented by Uber Eats. Now, I'm in the back of the island, and this is the only place that I want to be. Why? Because we have fans for the first time in over 21 months, man. I know everybody is excited to get inside of MetLife Stadium. So if you're watching at home right now, you better make sure you get your tickets and get inside of MetLife Stadium. But guys, I think I've got all of the fans back here ready to go inside the stadium. So I'm going to come on back up there to you guys.
Thanks, Chuck.
There are the records so far this year. Anthony Becht and myself, 1-0. Well, Ethan and Eric, 0-1. This is the segment of the show we like to call All In or Not Today. Either it's going to happen or it's not. Since Ethan is trailing, let's have him start today. Ethan, Zach Wilson will throw for at least 2 touchdown passes against the Patriots.
All in or not today. But let me preface this by saying, do you really think that I would say not today on a day like today with the fans here? You know what? Thank you, Ronald from Union Beach, New Jersey. I'm going all in. Zach Wilson will throw for 2 touchdown passes or more against the New England Patriots.
I love it.
All right, I heard somebody over there saying we're going over Zach Wilson today. Eric, let's go to you. Let's talk about 3rd down. The Patriots have less than 42% conversion rate on 3rd down. Crazy number, but the Pats converted 69% of the time. Last week, the Jets' 3rd down defense was phenomenal against the Panthers. They converted just 28.6% of the time. So the magic number here is 42.
Yeah, I'm all in. I think the Jets are going to stop the Patriots, slow them down under 42% on 3rd down, and that starts on 1st and 2nd down, stopping that run, controlling the line of scrimmage. That's where the Jets are going to dominate today. I'm all in.
Anthony, you gave us a little bit of a hint, I think, before when we were talking about Elijah Moore, the rookie out of Mississippi. We have him down for 85 total yards. AB, all in or not today?
I'm all in, man. And I'm going to add a touchdown to this. I mean, he's a game breaker. He's a guy, if he gets the ball, he can go 60 yards. I don't have any cool props, okay? But I do have some house money being 1-0. I'm going all in on another rookie like I did last week with Elijah Moore. All in, 85-plus yards and a TD.
All right. Last week, the Patriots were held to 16 points. Last week, the Jets scored only 14 My all-in or not today is both teams will score at least 20 points. Not today! Not today! Both teams will not score 20 points today at MetLife Stadium. It's going to be a charged-up atmosphere, but I think at times it is going to be tough for teams to score, and I'm especially looking at the Patriots and their young quarterback, Mac Jones. I see food up here, fellas. We went a little bit long today on Pregame Central, which is allowed when you have Joe Namath out there on set. Well, unbelievable day, beautiful weather. Great
Oh, nice.
air. Oh, my God.
Nice.
What's up,
yeah.
fellas? How we
Appreciate
doing?
that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So,
Thank you very
man.
much.
if it's a home opener,
Hey.
you got to tailgate Jet style. And
Like-
Bear has provided
Is
some
my segment
great
over?
cuisine for us today out here on the
Bear
set.
and Randy.
Bear,
And Randy. 40 years these guys have been cooking together. Chef, infrastructure, make sure everybody's taken care of, plates, silverware, making the fire. I'm going to dig in. Is that all right with you? Go right ahead. All right.
All right, let's get to the
done.
inactives because we got to eat. We got some business to take care of on set here. Jason Pinnock, Jonathan Marshall, Jamian Sherwood, Josh Adams,
Thank you, guys.
LaMichael Pirine, Denzel Mims, and Jameson Crowder, all inactive today. So tough blow for the Jets as far as Crowder. They were hoping they'd get him back in the lineup. Denzel Mims also game day inactive. Pinnock, Marshall, Sherwood, Adams, Pirine, Mims, and Crowder. For those of you viewing locally, you can flip over to CBS 2 for Jets Game Day with Robert Saleh. We'll be back here for Jets Overtime presented by Nissan after the game. For Eric Coleman, Anthony Beck, Ethan Greenberg, and Joe Namath, we're signing off.